DanTheMan interested again.
Steam dollars have limits. The idea behind a Steam dollar is that it should almost always be worth about $1. We have set rules in place to make this statement true 99% of the time by making the Steam dollar convertible to a dollar worth of Steam. Anyone who promises you that any asset will always be worth something is either ignorant to some risk or a liar. This is true for bank deposit, gold coins and cryptocurrencies. Banks can seize your funds, go bankrupt, have a bail-in or hyperinflate the currency until it is worthless. In other words, you're never guaranteed purchasing power. When it comes to the Steam dollar, their purchasing power depends upon the market demand for Steam. The Steam dollar is really nothing more than a smart contract for a variable amount of Steam depending upon an oracle. If Steam is worthless, then the Steam dollar will also be worthless. As the value of Steam falls, the amount of Steam required to represent a US dollar worth of value approaches infinity. If left unchecked, the Steam dollar could render Steam worthless, and when that happens, all Steam dollars become worthless too. Black Swan events need a plan. It isn't possible to prevent all Black Swan events, but it is possible to establish a fair set of rules for handling them. It is always best to define the rules before they are necessary, so that everyone can take full responsibility for the consequences of their trading decisions. There are two major Black Swan events that the Steam community and traders should have a contingency plan in place for. The first Black Swan is if the value of Steam crashes so far that Steam dollar represents an insurmountable burden on the Steam price that sets off a chain reaction pushing the value of Steam towards zero. The second major Black Swan event is when the US dollar hyperinflates and becomes worthless as a day-to-day currency. In my opinion, this is the most likely outcome. Price feed defines value of Steam dollar. The price feed can be viewed as a mathematical function that traders and speculators can trade against for determining the value of the Steam dollar at any time. Right now, we have defined the function to always equal the approximate marginal price one Steam fetches on the open market. There are two extreme cases, Black Swans, that must be considered. In one extreme, the price goes to zero. In the other extreme, the price goes to infinity. It is in the interest of everyone involved that the value of a Steam dollar never hits either extreme. This can be implemented in objective terms by setting hard limits on the exchange rate range that is allowed. We can set a maximum and minimum Steam dollar price as follows. Maximum price equals Steam supply divided times 10 times Steam dollar supply, or minimum price equals Steam supply divided on 10,000 times Steam dollar supply. With these rules in place, Steam dollars holders are protected against US dollar hyperinflation and Steam holders are protected against US dollar hyperdeflation. The witnesses are trusted to publish an honest price feed relative to dollars at all times, but the blockchain will enforce these hard limits. In other words, the market cap of all Steam dollars will always be between 0.01% and 10% of the Steam market cap. This will become a mathematical reality with the addition of 2 lines of code to the method that calculates the conversion price. Sustainable and fair. These rules would make the economic system of Steam sustainable and fair in all circumstances by clarifying the meaning of a Steam dollar. With the clarified meaning, a Steam dollar is allowed to have values above or below a US dollar under certain market conditions. All traders can be aware of those conditions and trade accordingly. By implementing these rules long before the Steem USD price gets near either extreme, all market participants have ample opportunity to adjust their positions. No promise of value. Steemit Incorporated cannot and will not promise that the Steem token, Steem Power or SteemDollars will have any value now or in the future. We aim only to create fair rules to approximate the relative subjective value each member of the Steem community brings to the table. Any value these tokens have will at all times be set by the free market through voluntarily exchanges. Benefits over alternative approaches. In a prior post, I outlined a solution that would convert 1% of SteemDollars to Steem Power as a means of correcting the imbalance. This solution had the nice property of only exposing 1% of a person's SteemDollars to volatile at a time, but had the downside of making the life of exchanges and smart contracts everywhere very complex. Every smart contract would have to factor in the potential that a liquid asset like SteemDollars could be partially converted to an illiquid asset such as vests. This greatly complicates things such as escrow transactions and side chains and exchange deposits. In other words, it had all of the negative properties on third parties that could be associated with negative interest rates. Some people suggested things like bootstrapping an economy around SteemDollars or buying them back with ad revenue. It isn't a matter of finding buyers for SteemDollars. It is a matter of maintaining a debt ceiling. Simply moving SteemDollars from person to person does not solve the problem. Thanks for the feedback. We would like to thank everyone for the feedback they have provided and invite additional feedback. We are all in this together. Let's make Steem the best platform for everyone involved. Sincerely, Dan the Man.